Hey, if you are a teenage between 13 to 19 years of age and you have probably thought of this, I want to go big. I don't have any mentor or guidance to help me start a startup as a high schooler. Who will I find? You are at the right place. This video is a complete guide from idea to execution and from you thinking I wish to you actually doing it. Now let me be honest with you. If you stick with me throughout this whole video, you will be learning so many things which nowadays adults probably wish they had known when they were of your age. And unfortunately, school doesn't really provide that information which I'll be providing you in this video. So throughout this whole video, you will be learning important concepts and I won't be really wasting your time because I know as a high schooler, we have so limited time with us and we want to utilize it to the fullest. So you will be getting valuable learning concepts through this whole video for your entrepreneurship journey. And now since you got a perfect reason to stay with me throughout this whole video, I want you to do two things quickly right now. First, bring a diary and a pen, guys. Don't keep that information in your temporary brain. You need to recap that information so that you're able to apply that in your practical life. So take a notepad, just write notes and make sure you're recapping with that concepts every time. And secondly, don't get distracted. Keep this whole video in a full screen so that you're not shifting through different tabs and you're able to grasp. Hi everyone, welcome to this module of design thinking. Today I'll be covering this important concept, and as an early founder you need to know this because so many founders, whenever they're starting a startup, 90% of these startups fail, often because they do a silly mistake. Now what is that? I'll tell you in this video series so that you don't end up like those people, and this concept is very interesting and very important for you. So stay tuned and let's get started. You don't end up. Now, talking about why design thinking. Why does it actually matter? Let's see. So our session outline for today will be introduction to design thinking. We'll be having this whole design thinking workshop and the process it involves and how you can use this process in your own startup. So let's see. Now this is a situation with most of the founders and they're like, well, I actually have $1 billion idea and I know how it works. Look guys, I'm not gonna roast, but that does not work. You need to solve a real problem by understanding what customers need. And great founders, if you see, often empathize with the end users. They understand what the pain points are, frustrations, and they put themselves into the customer's shoes and understand what they need exactly so that they can cater to that need. Now, I want you to share me why empathy matters for you. So tell me in the comment section below. I would love to hear your insights on this. Now, this is a real world example I'm sharing you all. So let's see what this woman did. So as you know, if you see this picture, there was a female founder who saw a pain point which working women and even moms face, which is carrying their babies with them, which is a difficult task. And she could empathize with herself. And she realized, why can't I ease this process? Why can't I make a solution that caters to this problem? Because, imagine you have this big lad or like a baby with you and you need to carry him. It's totally impossible. So that's how she saw this problem and tried to empathize and took something which can cater to the solution, and that's how she created a product. And as I said, empathizing is very important. Now, if you see design thinking, this definition which says a human-centered approach that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the people's of needs, the possibility of technology, blah blah blah, and you're like, what does this even mean? In very simple terms, design thinking is like planning a gift for a very special person. And let's dive into the process of design thinking and how it actually looks like. So we have this whole process. I'll also be giving a very interesting example after this slide. So just watch that. Okay, empathizing. So as I told you all about empathizing, you need to ask your customers what their pain points are, take insights from them, and understand, empathize with them. After that, you need to define. Now, defining means now you're coming up with problems. So with that insights which customer gave, you come up with problems and see a pattern of what problems they are facing. So you define problems. Next is ideate. Now after you got the problem statement, you need to plan out a solution for that problem. So you come up with different solutions for that problem. Next is prototype. Prototype is very important. You make a simple product to just give the concept to the market so that you can take feedbacks from the customer. So you make a prototype and start testing in the market. Take feedbacks and then improve your product gradually, taking insights from the customers. And then finally you implement your product. So you start taking feedback, you keep on improving, and then you finally reach your final product you needed. And that's how this takes place. And this is an iterative process. That means this process takes place continuously. You need to show the market, you need to test your product, take feedbacks, again improve, and then start building stuff like that. So that's how it goes. Now let's look at a very interesting example, which is rubber ducky. So talking about this whole idea concept, the first step which comes is empathizing. So the founder empathizes with its end users like parents, young children, child exposed. It took some insights from them, and here are some following insights, which is: my child cries when I mentioned about taking bath, or the soap gets in the eyes and it hurts, or bathtub is sensorily overloaded. So these are some insights they gave. Now, after hearing all those insights, the founder came up with a problem statement by using how might we statement. So how might we make bathtub more enjoyable for kids? That's the problem. And next is the solution, which is like he came up with a lot of solutions for a specific problem, which is we can make a bath toy, no tear shampoo, bathing seat, which can cater to this problem. And then they finally go into the market and test. Now you see they're using so basic, scrappy, they're making a scrappy product to just send that concept to the market. Their aim is to just show the concept to users to get feedback. That's what they want. So they made their prototype using a cardboard, a paper prototype, storyboards, or role play. Like even you can do a role play. That's what you just need to show a concept and take feedbacks. That's your main aim. And then they finally implement the product. So that's how design thinking works. Now I want you to do this amazing activity. So this is your opportunity space, which says that families have increasingly become detached with each other because they're glued to their phone, and that's a problem we all see with this social media generation. So this is a problem, and I want you to come up with the prototype and just follow this whole design thinking process and let me know. I'll be dropping down my email below so that I can get all your assignments there. Now you can also use this design thinking process in your own startup as well. So thank you so much everyone. I'll hope to see you in the next module. So stay tuned and bye-bye. And welcome to this module of user and market research. Now this process is also very important, and many of you forget to research about how big your market is, and then you end up making something which did not have a good user base for that, and that's how you just go into this downfall. So you don't have to do that, and I'll be covering some fundamental concepts you should know as an early founder so that it helps you and your business scale up. So let's get started and pay attention, because this is going to be very important as an early founder. So business needs are not user needs. user needs are business needs. That is so true. So yes, today our session outline will be how to define your market. So we'll be understanding TAM, SAM and SOM, and how you can use it in your startup. How to determine your market size. Let's look at that. So we have TAM, SAM and SOM. TAM means total addressable market, SAM is serviceable addressable market, and SOM is serviceable or obtainable market. I'll tell you with an example so that it's a clear, you're clear with what these three terms stands for. Let's say you open up a ice cream startup. So you're selling ice creams, all right? Let's see. So people around the whole globe who consume ice cream are your numbers for TAM. So these are like the people around the globe who consume ice cream. Now, being more realistic, you think to, let's say, focus only on India. So people who consume ice cream in India is your number for SAM. And now, even going depth for a user base, you focus only on, let's say, Delhi or Mumbai or Bangalore or any place like that. And in that city, people who consume ice cream comes under your SOM. So you see how specific we are going with targeting our users. And that's how it works. There's one more example I'll be giving you, that is a SAT preparation app. So TAM for this whole app is $68 million. SAM is $20 million and SOM is $600,000. So you see how numbers are reducing because we are specifically focusing on specific users to first focus on and then gradually move on to a higher user. So as I said, TAM was 1.7 million high school students take SAT every year. So the app charges $40 per year, and SAM is now, let's say the app is only present in iOS. So 30% of the SAT takers have an iPhone, and an app charges $40 per year. SOM is, let's say, those iOS users, we are focusing on California. So those people who are using iOS in California, these 30% of our SAT takers with iPhone lives in California. The app charges $40 per year. So I hope TAM, SAM and SOM is very clear to you. So use it in your startup. Just check what the market size of your startup is, where do you first want to target into, and then in that specific area, in that specific, let's say a country, which city or area do you want to cater to? That becomes very specific, and you can prepare your sales pitch to convince them for your product. That's how it goes. I'll be seeing you into the next module, and stay tuned because this whole series is going to be very important for your whole startup process. See you in the next one. Everyone, welcome to this module of building an MVP. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this term before as well. MVP stands for minimum viable product. I'll be telling you all in this whole video, so don't worry, sit back and enjoy. And I'll be telling you all with 3 real life stories which you can relate and definitely learn a lot and implement in your startup as well. Let's get started. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this term before as well. MVP stands for minimum viable product. I'll be telling you all in this whole video, so don't worry, sit back and enjoy. And I'll be telling you all with 3 real life stories which you can relate and definitely learn a lot and implement in your startup as well. Let's get started. Now, so the session outline for today will be introduction to MVP and a company challenge, which is going to be very interesting. Now let's see this whole picture. If you see in the screen, I want you to analyze, so just pause the video and analyze and just let me know in the comments. But if I tell you with what it really conveys, it means, so if you see in the first picture, you see that the founder is trying to make a product from beginning rather than solving specific problems which customer has. But in the second one, if you see, The person is trying to solve a specific problem, and let's say, so it's solving specific problems, it's taking feedback and trying to improve up its product. So let's see, the person got some feedback from customer, which the customer says that I want something where it can move beyond walking. So this founder made this whole scrappy product, and now it sent to the market, and then the market gave feedbacks, which means that, well, I'm not able to balance my body, what can I do? So the founder tried to improve that product and put up a handle in this product. Then next, it again sent to the market, it got feedback, it slowly converted it into a cycle, then a faster version of that vehicle in the bicycle, and then finally reached its final product, that is a car. And that's how it goes. If you end up building a final product from beginning, then you won't be able to cater to specific needs of customer, and you might need to shut your startup in few years. So let's see what this chess concept actually means. MVP should be chess. What this chess exactly conveys? So C stands for cheap. MVP should not have a lot of investment of money. It should have little or no money investment. Next is haphazard. It is not supposed to be looking good. It should look scrappy and simple. Next is easy. It should be quick to build because we need to send it to the market and get feedback and try to improve it gradually. Next, it should have specific 1 to 2 hypotheses. Now, hypothesis means assumptions. So we can make some assumptions for the whole concept of how MVP should look like, or the problem we feel like we assumed is a problem in the market. So if you go out and test those assumptions with customers, you'll be getting more insights from that. Next is simple. MVP should have very few features, very easy to understand, clear, and very simple and quick. Now, why do we build an MVP? Let's look at our 3 main examples, real world examples, which is Spotify, Airbnb, and DoorDash. Guys, talking about Airbnb, so let me tell you with the story on how it goes. So back in 2007, there were 2 founders who were living in an apartment, and they were struggling to pay rent for their room. And at the same time, there was a conference going in San Francisco, and the hotels were all booked. And these 2 founders saw this problem as an opportunity, and they felt, why not help people book a living space in our apartment, and they can pay us, and we can, pay the rent back to the owner. And that's how they came up with this simple website called as Airbeds and Breakfast. They started testing this whole idea they had, and people loved it. And that's how Airbnb started in its initial days. Now, talking about Spotify, the founder of Spotify, he also faced a problem he saw in the market, and that was people felt very irritated because they wanted to download songs, but it was so slow and illegal, literally illegal. And that's how this founder thought, why not to ease this process and make this downloading easy and legal? And this is the MVP it came up with. So it's very simple and easy to understand. Now, talking about DoorDash. So this story is really interesting as well. So there were 2 Stanford students who were working on a project, and they went on to some different restaurants to take some feedbacks. And every restaurant owner said one thing which they saw common, and that was, they said that they were getting good amount of delivery orders from their customers, but there was nobody to deliver that product to their home, and that's why they needed someone to deliver the food. And these 2 Stanford students, they created a very simple website called as Palo Alto Delivery, and they started delivering the food by themselves to different customers at their place. And this is how we start. They did not build a whole product from beginning and they got that concept in their mind, but they built slowly. They got some feedback from customers, started improving, and that's how they landed up in the end product. And now you are hired and you need to help me come up with an MVP. So this is a platform known as Skill Swap. So the problem which I'm sharing you need to make an MVP and send me in my email. So the problem it conveys is, so many teens have a lot of skills they learn throughout the high school, which is like coding, writing, graphic designing, cooking, or maybe content writing, etc. Like so many skills they have, but there isn't any platform where they can showcase those skills or help each other learn skills, peer-to-peer learning which can happen. And that's what the problem is. And you need to come up with a solution by creating an MVP and try to be innovative. So I'll definitely see your work. You can just send me in my email below and let me know how it goes. So key takeaways from this whole session today was, build quickly and scrappily. You don't need to make this perfect product, and something is better than nothing. So you can take some examples from Airbnb and DoorDash and try to relate that with your startup progress which you are having right now. So thank you so much everyone. We'll be going on to our next module. Hi everyone, welcome to this module of SWOT analysis. Now this is going to be very interesting and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this term before as well. I'll be giving you all a real world example as well in this module so that you're very clear with what this stands for. Let's get started. I can't wait to make this series unfolded. Alright, so what does SWOT mean? S stands for strength, W is for weakness, O is for opportunities, and T is for threats. Take an example of a company which is worth of $1 trillion, that is Apple. Okay, let's see how SWOT analysis of Apple looks like. So if you look at S, so as it explains, S stands for strength. So strengths are those USPs or the benefits that product is providing to the customers. So for Apple, it is strong and trusted brand image, great marketing, and very loyal customer base. These are what strength of Apple which it has made over several years of hard work. Next is its weakness. So every company has a strength and weakness. Talking about Apple, we have its device incapability, hard to switch to Apple. You see, from Android to iPhone, it is so difficult and the whole process is very time taking and not environmentally friendly. So these are some areas it needs to improve. These are its weaknesses. Next is opportunities. So this means, like, since in this fast-paced world we have so many things upgrading on technology, emerging of AI, and a lot of inventions coming up. So what opportunities do we see which can be beneficial for a company? Looking at Apple, we have increased phone usage across the world, then boost in AI space, and diversifying product range. These are some opportunities Apple have in these coming years. Talking about threats, now we might get few obstacles in between our journey, and those are what we call as threats and challenges which we usually see. Talking about Apple, we have other phone companies who are also present, that is Apple's competitors like Android, Pixel, etc. Then US reliant on China for chips, which is geopolitical situations and stuff, which are like threats which constraints Apple has with it. So I want you to share me what your SWOT analysis is, and I think you should really do for your company, because you get to know more on where are some areas of improvement, what are some upcoming opportunities and threats which I need to prepare myself beforehand. So you'll be understanding this through SWOT analysis. So thank you so much everyone. I am hoping to see you in the next module. Stay tuned and let's go forward for our next module. Hi everyone, welcome to this module of marketing. We'll be looking at our 4 P's, which is also very vital for our startup. So let's start. I can't wait to get this whole process get unfolded. What does 4 P's stand for? Any guesses? Product, price, place, promotion. We also have 3 more P's, which I won't be covering in this, but you can definitely research on that, which is people, process, and physical evidence. So let's look at what these 4 P's are. You guys are very familiar with these 3 terms, but if we look at it's simple, what this definition basically means. Product is what you sell. Price is the amount which customer pays to buy your product. Places where your customers can see or buy your product from. And then promotion is how your customer find out about you and what to buy from you. So basically a platform like social media or in person and stuff like that. So those are your promotion. Let's look at a real life example, which is Starbucks. I know you guys have heard of this term or heard of this company and probably drank this coffee, a premium coffee, which is pretty expensive but very, very, very tasty. Okay, let's look at what its 4 P's are. Before that, I wanted to pause this video so that you can think by yourself and assume what its 4 P's for Starbucks is. Tell me in the comments or in my mail. I'll be telling you in the description. Looking at its product, we have a lot of different options which Starbucks provides. Is customizability, which is the USP of Starbucks. Trendy, novelty. Price, if you look at the price, it's high priced, which means high quality. A status play. Status plays a very big role. Because we take that coffee to just show other people, brag them. Not really, but yeah, status does play a role indirectly. And then we have place. So if you see the place, we have this whole Starbucks company everywhere, in some grocery stores, on shelves, and can order through an app as well. And then looking at the promotion, it has done a very, very strong positioning in the market. Branding is very strong and recognized. It keeps reward programs and ads in social media. So this is how it does its promotion, and even like through advertisement as well. So this is the 4 P's of Starbucks. I want you to apply this 4 P's for your own startup as well, and let me know how it goes. So see you in the next module and stay tuned for that. Yo, what's up people? Now we'll be going on to our marketing funnel. So let's get started. This is really interesting, okay? So session outline for today is introduction to marketing funnel and our company challenge. So marketing funnel, so this is a whole funnel and we have 4 process. So we have awareness, interest, desire, and then action. So let's say we have these many people in awareness. Everyone is aware of a product. Like maximum of them you find are aware people who come under this category. Next is interest. How many actually showed interest for your product? Okay. Next comes desire. Like this is an extreme interest, desire. They are like really, really interested for your product. It's just like they're just in the middle of their payment, just cash. They have to provide the cash, that's all, but they're very, very passionate about their product, your product. And then action. Action means finally check in your hand or cash in your hand. So that's how action takes place. Now, what is a leaky funnel? So if you look at the leaky funnel, that means people were aware, but then due to some marketing issues or the tactics you actually implemented were not too good and people started getting reduced. So they came to, let's say, the process through awareness, interest, and then after interest they did not get that much desire because maybe you were not following up with them or your marketing tactics were not too good and they did not see that maybe quality for your product. So that leads to a leaky funnel because customers get at some point into this process, but they start going away then. So we have to make sure that we don't lead to a leaky funnel and make sure our marketing is so strong so that we win customers' trust and we are able to get all the potential customers into our actionable customers where they're paying us with the cash. Let's look at an example of an airport max. So awareness, people see an ad for airport max, friends tell you about the airport max, and then influencers using this, so you got that awareness. Okay, this product actually exists in the market. Next is the interest. So you look up to the headphones on YouTube, ask friends who have it, ask their reviews and feedbacks, you Google them. Desire will be you are excited about the product, you have decided to buy, time to save, and then you keep watching reviews because how excited you are. So you see how curious you are. Oh my god, I just need this headphone just as soon as I can, and then you're just looking through more information, trying to research a lot and stuff like that. And then finally, action. You find out about a temporary discount, you check and definitely pay for that. That's where you have to lead your customers in, okay? So you have to use that 4 P's. Make sure that your 4 P's are really good. Product should be good, price, place, promotion. You're doing a good promotion and positioning yourself in a way customers gain trust and they finally reach your action category. Alright, so this is our marketing funnel. Now we have tofu, mofu, bofu. Tofu is like top of the funnel, mofu is middle of the funnel, and bofu is bottom of the funnel, okay? So yeah, and these are 2 terms I'll be sharing you right now. Customer acquisition cost involved to acquire a new paying customer. Maybe in the marketing कंपनी ने पैसे डाले कस्टमर्स को लाने के लिए, न्यू कस्टमर्स को लाने के लिए, तो दैट इज कैप. आरपू, एवरेज रेवेन्यू पर यूजर, विच इज एज द वर्ड सेज कि कितना पैसा आता है एक कस्टमर से हमें, द अमाउंट ऑफ मनी यू अर्न फ्रॉम वन कस्टमर. सो दैट्स व्हाट आरपू इज. ओके, सो थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन. We'll be going on to our next module. Hey everyone, welcome to this module of rejection training. Now let me tell you, this is gonna be very interesting, and the challenge I'll be giving you especially will take you out of your comfort zone and definitely worth your time to get involved in. So let's get started and let this whole module get unfolded. So let's talk about some comeback eras and who comes to your mind. We'll be talking about Taylor Swift, guys. I know you guys have heard of her. Her songs are mind-blowing. I have listened to few of her songs. Did you know how her journey looked like before? Let's dive on to. Now here's Taylor Swift. This girl was bullied when she was growing up. She got rejected from multiple labels from early in her career. But this girl did not give up. She embraced those rejections which life threw back at her. And that's how she reached the pinnacle of her music industry. And now she's a billionaire, guys. So even if we hate or love her, you got to respect Taylor Swift. So let me tell you, success isn't guaranteed, but rejection is for sure guaranteed towards the path of success. Now the session outline for today we'll be diving on to some rejection stories and an awesome challenge which will make you feel it will give you good confidence, trust me. So yeah, just see that challenge. This is very exciting. So let's talk about your story of rejection. When have you guys been rejected? I want to hear your stories in the comments below. So let me know when you got rejected, how you overcome through that challenge, and would love to hear. You can even email me with that. Talking about me, I got rejected several times, like from my summer programs, competitions, and few small events which were coming up in my life, and success is other rejection hua. So that's what the reality is. And like even from my boyfriend, like we were in the relationship and I got rejected, and I feel it hurts, guys. It definitely hurts, but trust me, I learned this thing. Whenever life gives us with rejection, that means they want us to come up in a better version, and that's how we learn. Life is always teaching us something. So I would like to hear your story of rejection, so do let me know. And let me tell you, rejection is all about mindset, and we can't give up on this. And do you think these guys, if you see in the screen, would have been in that success of their field if they let rejection stop them? Not at all. But now, how can you turn rejection into learning? And what if I say your rejection were fun? God, Akarsha, what are you saying? Rejections being fun? Yes, guys, absolutely fun. Let me give you with some challenges that will make you feel you'll embrace rejection as a fun event coming up in your life. So these are few challenges which are placed right now. You need to pick up 4 to 5 challenges and do send me with your updates and how it feel to you while doing this activity. So let's say there is one activity like call Amazon and ask if they can ship your siblings to Australia. This sounds super crazy, but you might get rejected. I think definitely a higher chances of getting rejected, but you need to do this because it will boost your confidence. You'll see rejection being very fun, and you might embrace those rejections which are coming to your life. So do this, I want you to do, and let me know how it goes. And let me tell you, you will fail a lot as a founder. So that's why cry now, laugh later. That's the philosophy we go with, guys. Okay, so much everyone. This module has ended, and now we'll be going on to our next module. So see you guys there. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to this module of selling. Now let me tell you guys, this process is the backbone of every business. If you don't sell the product which is being produced, your business will eventually shut down in few years. And selling is very important. And I highly recommend you all, even if you're like in your high school days right now, you should practice selling simple things, because if you learn the skill from beginning like earlier in your career, this is going to be very beneficial for you in the future as well. So let's get started with this whole concept of selling, and we'll be also looking at how the selling process goes. Now, what you think launch looks like, so you might think launch is like this, but launch is actually like this, like in a straight line. So in our session outline today, we'll be learning on pricing our MVP, introduction to sales and sales process, getting your first customers, your sales pitch, and finally handling objections. So let's get started with this. First is pricing your MVP. So MVP, as I said, is minimum viable product, and sales price must be more than your expenses to make money. And that is so true, because if you don't make more money than your expenses, you won't be able to make profit. So let's do a very short, quick activity. Let's test your general knowledge on this. So I want you to tell me how much is a Spotify monthly subscription. How much does it cost? So tell me in the comment section, but I assume it costs around $11.99 per month. Now, how much is the Stanley 400Z tumbler? How much does this cost around? So I haven't seen this bottle in India, but I assume this is around $40 per bottle. And this one, so how much is a 1-hour consultancy with a marketing agency? So this really depends. I'll definitely agree with that, but like a general assumption for the price it might cost is $200 per hour. Now let's talk about pricing strategies. So we have 3 strategies, which is cost plus pricing, competitive pricing, and value-based pricing. So cost plus pricing, as the whole term describes, this means so the amount of cost involved to make a product, and then we add on a percentage of profit we want to make from this whole product. So let's say a burger costs around $10. We need 50% of margin, so we keep the price as $15. So this is a selling price. And next is competitive pricing, as the image and the term says as well. So we keep a price range between, so we see what our competitors' pricing is, and we try to keep a price which is between their range, not too overpriced or not highly underpriced, but a price in between. So let's say competitor one, the price is $90 and another competitor's price is $99. So our price can be $95. So this is between our competitors, which is a very beneficial for us as well. Now next one is value-based pricing. So even this term says the value we are giving to our customers, we price accordingly. So this is basically seen in the service businesses. So we provide value, like let's say a dietitian is providing customers with value, doctors and stuff like that. Now let's move on to our sales process. No sales, no money, no business. And I'm pretty sure your parents probably have thought of sales like this, where we are going door to door and selling a product, or like this, where they're calling and saying, hey, your recharge is over, please update and stuff like that, and those fraud messages comes and calls coming up with us. In this case, I would say they are not completely wrong, but this is not an effective way of selling a product. Sales is all about convincing potential customers to purchase your product. So let's get into your sales process. So we have these 5 process which goes on. It depends upon product to product. You can skip few processes or follow this whole. But yeah, this is a common pathway towards a sales conclusion. So let's talk about prospecting. Prospecting means finding our potential customers who might get or turn into our paying customers. So we need to find those prospects who are interested in our product. That means we need to find our potential customers. So that comes under prospecting. Now, after we found those customers which has potential to buy a product, we then filter out some productive customers from them. So that means qualifying. So few customers from them gets qualified who actually have that interest and desire to purchase our product. So that is why we need to filter out some productive and non-productive customers and focus on those productive customers so that we can research and pitch them with our product. Now, why are we researching? Because if we research beforehand, we'll be able to relate with them and our deal can be closed effectively. Next is handling objections. So customers might raise questions in the form. Customers might raise some questions, and we need to make sure that we handle their objections during the meeting and the pitch. And then finally closing, which means customer giving us with money which we at last wanted, and then we finally take some follow-up with our customers to know some feedbacks they have or just building a good relationship with them. So, talking about how you can get your first customer. So, these are few strategies to get them, which is warm connections, word of mouth, cold outreach, and viral social media posts. Now, who are early adopters? So, these are the very first users who use your product and stick with it. How do we find them? So, to find our early adopters, we need to find them through warm connections. So people who already who you know and they love your product and what you do, and they already use your product. Next is live events through conferences, events, workshops, and networking events, which really goes. You can find them up. Communities like Discord, social media, Reddit, Facebook, Insta, etc. Like those social media apps and some communities around us. Now, this is a very interesting activity you need to do right now. So, how many contacts do you have in your phone? What I want you to do is, guys, listen. I want you to find 5 people and you need to pitch an idea. I don't care if that's an existing idea or an idea you already decided to work on by yourself. But you need to pitch them by scheduling a call and let me know how it goes. So you can tell me in my mail and just tell me how it went, and even like share some screenshots on that. So do this activity. This is going to be very interesting. And now we are coming on to our sales pitch. Let's see the first pitch. So what it says is, hey there, just wanted to let you know about our new travel coffee mug. It keeps your drink streaming for hours and fits perfectly in your car's cup holder. It's a game changer for your morning commute. Let's get into a second pitch, which says, good day, introducing our latest innovation, the Elite Travel Mug. Engineered for durability and designed to maintain beverages temperature for up to 8 hours. Ideal for enhancing your daily travel experience. Now guys, I want to know which pitch did you find interesting. Do let me know in the comments below. I found the pink one is quite interesting because it's engaging and it's understanding what the problems customers usually face. So I want to know from your side, but yeah, definitely I think both of them are awesome. But yeah, let me know. But if we see the whole structure for this pitch, we need to have these 3 things to make a best pitch, which is a hook, a context, and a call to action. We need to make sure we are catching attention of customers, getting them to the main point and content we have, and then finally telling them to take action. Maybe subscribe, follow our channel, stuff like that. So we need to make sure we do these 3 things. And now I'll be sharing you a few tips which can ruin your pitch. We usually go into some competitions, especially high schoolers, and I think that can be very beneficial for you to see this right now so that you don't do that mistake. Stop using I statement. Customers don't care how much beneficial that product might be for you, but they definitely care how much that benefits them. And then really long pitch. Avoid that. You don't want to make them sleep and spoil that first impression. Next is complicated explanation, which means try to make this simple and clear. You will feel confident by yourself because you're able to explain it in an easier way, and they'll be able to have your attention. And don't make that too complex. Fake authenticity, generic pitch, and promises you can't keep. Stop doing that. Don't commit something which you are not confident on following in the future. So make sure you avoid those things. And now we'll be looking at handling objections. So in this, you can just look at these things you need to make sure. You need to listen, empathize, clarify their doubts, and you need to make sure you're patiently listening rather than speaking much. So let's do a quick recap. So we saw how to launch, how to price, how to manage the sales process, acquire first customers, craft outreach messages, and how to handle objections. So thank you so much everyone. I know this was a lot to take, but it was worth knowing, and I hope you can apply this sales process in your startup and see where you lag and try to make sure you fill that gap. So see you in the next module. Let's see. This is our last module, which is our demo day pitches, and you will be learning how you can create an awesome pitch which judges get fan of. Let's get started. I'll be telling you all with few tips so that it helps you to create a winning pitch. Demo day is your chance to show everything you have learned on this whole journey. That's so true. And I'll be sharing you all with some tips for writing your winning pitch. Alright. First one is storytelling. Guys, Steve Jobs mentioned this, that the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. People nowadays remember stories rather than facts. First, next is be ambitious and realistic. That means to say, I mean to say is be very energetic when you're giving a pitch. Be ambitious of what you're doing. You should love your product so that you are able to sell that to others. That is your judge and the audience which are sitting right there. And be realistic. Don't keep those hypothetical goals which are not realistic. Make sure to provide good numbers and make sure you're making sure you should be realistic when seeing a future. Next is passion and confidence. That makes a difference, guys. Let me tell you, people see your emotions, how you speak, how you are presenting yourself to them. So passion and confidence is very important. वो दिखता है, चेहरे से दिखता है कि तुम कितने passionate हो, कितने confident हो अपने product के लिए. Use aesthetic slides only, guys. Don't use this text heavy slides. Use those which are aesthetic, up to the point, less text, more pictures, bright colors, and it should look pretty, very pretty, okay? Next step is to practice, practice, practice. Practice makes you perfect, and perfection is what we want to showcase the judges to get our funding. So that's how it goes like, and thank you so much everyone. I loved teaching you all with all these concepts, and I'm pretty sure you at least got some value from this whole video series. I'll see you in the next video. I'll be posting those videos continuously this week. So I'll just love to get some responses or feedbacks you have from me. I'm just getting started, but I'll keep on improving myself through your feedbacks. Thank you so much all for staying here. If you like this video, please like my channel, subscribe, and follow me for more updates. Bye. See you all. Peace.